What's going on, everyone? My name is Geoffrey Luna with T&G Real Estate Consultants. This is our first episode of our podcast that we're doing, and we have a special first-time guest. He is the marketing legend guru. 2020 is going to be a good year for this man. He does all of our real estate video, marketing, etc. Jonathan.
What's up,
from
Jeff?
Gonz Media. Welcome.
Thanks for having me here, man. This is a very, very nice listing that we're in here. We've already shot this property, but I really, really enjoyed shooting this property. As with any of your properties, they're always top tier.
And you saw it from the beginning, so you obviously knew how much work was here. I mean, you had trees that looked like they were, belonging in El Dorado Park, right?
This place was truly, truly like a dump. Writing all over the walls, floors caving in, trees all over the place. No landscaping done within the past at least 3 years.
30 years.
Yeah. So it's incredible to see what you guys did here, what the team did here, and it looks phenomenal.
And the photos came out great. We, obviously shot a video with you that, really looked great, and hopefully it's going to give us more attraction and more views and for this listing, and we'll see what that final number is.
Definitely hope so.
Sales price,
Yeah.
But so obviously, you're kind of on ahead of the curve, in terms of marketing, right? You deal with several agents, myself included. When did you get started in this real estate marketing kind of sector?
In the sector, I kind of got started almost 2 years ago. We'll be hitting 2 years as of May 2020. But I wasn't always full-time real estate. I'd say I've only been full-time real estate, like full force, for about a year now. So and when I say full-time real estate, I mean, content creation, photos, videos for real estate agents and real estate companies. So I've been doing it for about a year now, and I guess you could say definitely I am trying to stay ahead of the curve, on the cutting edge, because it is a fast-changing industry, an industry that's due for a whole lot of change. And I do try to keep ahead of the curve to offer my clients some of the best work.
And did you go to school for marketing, or what was
Yeah, actually, I went to school for marketing. I went down here at Cal State Fullerton. Mm-hmm. I got my degree, my bachelor's there in marketing, and it kind of goes hand in hand, with what we're doing. We gotta, marketing is one piece of it, and then you have the creative side of marketing, which is more of what I do. But knowing both aspects, being able to understand what you're creating and what you're going to use it for to target certain people, it helps when you're going in to shoot a property,
Right. And this is kind of good too, because you're newer. I'm 3 years in the business. Mm-hmm. My dad, has been in the business since 93, so he's been around. So I've been involved in real estate for a while, but you being, fresh into it, you must see all those photos that some agents do, and it's amazing, right? How much money that people are making in this industry, and their marketing is, subpar.
Yeah.
To a lot of, what the Redfins, the Zillows of the world, what they're doing.
Definitely. I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I know when it comes to marketing in terms of listings, an agent who gets a listing, those who actually spend the money and take the time to take exceptional photos and video for a property it's like very, very little.
At the end of the day, the agent is getting paid, to market the home and sell it, and photos is like, God, it's like a generic, every buyer.
Yeah.
I don't know what the exact percentage is, but I would say over 90% of home buyers are online.
Right. We live in a completely different world now,
Yeah.
I can understand how before the internet was really prevalent, and really before social media too was really big, how they wouldn't be that necessary, right? Because
Right, because it was all in person, right?
Right, it was all in person.
Go,
you put the MLS, from what I understand, was on a piece of paper before, a book, and you really could only see the house if you went in person. But now, the first time a home buyer is ever going to interact with your listing is going to be on most likely one of three sites: Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin.com. And you're telling me that if you're going to put your listing on there and you're going to put a poor, subpar photo to present
like with
for
your
the
phone,
first time,
with your iPhone or your Android,
right.
Probably Android.
This buyer has seen that property for the first time. You want them to stop. You don't want them to keep scrolling, you know. There's so many properties in front of them at any given moment on their iPad, on their iPhone. So I think...
and then you would also have to ask yourself that, you know, why do people keep doing it, right? I mean, why do you keep seeing photos like that? And the fact of the matter is, if we really read between the lines, there's a shortage of housing in California, period. So any house is going to sell, right? I guess the argument you can make for it is that home going to sell for top dollar? Right? And are they going to market that home to the fullest? I mean, to get the people in there. Because now the trick is getting the people to actually show up, right? I mean, if you take an overpriced listing, you don't have good photos, no one's even going to show up. You know, you're going to be subject to those few buyers that are going to come and, you know, kind of, you know, go from there. But, I mean, even I've seen listings that don't even have that great of photos, and they still get a lot of traction just because people are in the hunt, right, for housing. I mean,
they're always in the hunt. These statistics, I actually just... I did a video on this for a client yesterday in Whittier, in the city of Whittier, California. On average, there should be about 6 months worth of inventory, homes on the market, right? So meaning that if nothing else hit the market for 6 months, or nothing else hit the market at all, it would take 6 months to sell all that inventory.
Right.
That's average. Right now, there's 3.5 months. So almost half of what there really should be. So that should tell a lot as to how really short we are on inventory, how short of housing is, and it's supply and demand. You know, it's not rocket science.
And so even you know, more so for the homeowners, I mean, you definitely want to, you know, expose your house to the fullest, right?
Of course. And
you know, not go with your aunt's friend that just got her license, you know, that sells houses on the weekends, right? I mean, it's there's a trick of the trade, you know, it's no secret. And a lot of the top agents, you know, that I know, I mean, are really at that leading edge that are just marketing really great material. Right. I mean, they're exposing the home to the fullest.
Especially in today's
they're getting top dollar.
Yeah. Anybody who's ahead of the curve or knows what they're doing to an extent on digital, meaning website, social media presence, anything of that capacity, they are doing pretty well, I would say. You know, they know how to market the home digital, and that's pretty much the name of the game right now. So that's kind of a good thing too. So what, you know, you being knowledgeable in the industry now, you know, to someone that wanted to get into real estate, you know, that doesn't really know a whole lot about the whole real estate marketing per se, what would you tell someone like that? Say, you know, this is what you got to do to start. Like what would you recommend for them to do? I would say the first thing that any real estate agent should learn is marketing. 100%. Digital marketing.
Digital marketing.
Because in this industry, it's not that you're selling a house to an extent, but really anybody could sell a house. But what you're doing is you're selling yourself, really. So I think understanding how to market and really figure out who your target market is and target that consumer.
Right.
Once you nail that, you can figure that out, then I think you can, you'll do well in real estate, or you'll do well in any industry. Marketing is really the name of the game. If you can nail that, you'll be fine.
Right. And obviously providing a good service and, you know, so forth, right? Because now online nowadays, anyone can leave a review and say anything about you, you know, and it may not even be true. Of course. You know, and it could stay on there. I've seen that happen several times too. It's unfortunate.
People like to do business with people they like. So if you're an a-hole or something like that, you know, I'm not gonna want to work with you. But But yeah, so if you're providing great service and you understand your client's needs, wants, and market to that.
And also too, you know, the fact that you said marketing, I mean, you're seeing some new agents come into this, real estate business, know a lot about marketing, market themselves to the fullest, and they get a lot of business, right?
Right.
And because, you've been to offices where you have maybe some older agents that are like, wow, how are these new agents getting all this business?
Yeah.
And it's that, again, it's that marketing.
I think it's a couple things. I think it's marketing for one. They're just able to, capture more leads, capture more buyers, or whatever the case, and also just being younger, they're able to speak to today's typical home buyer, on
Right.
that same level. If you have somebody who's a couple generations older, it's going to be hard to speak to a millennial buyer in the same lingo, and it goes back to doing business with people that you like. If I can speak with you on the same capacity, we get along, then
there was a recent thing that I saw right on the National Association of Realtors, and says that from 1996 to right now, there is twice the realtor audience has doubled in size since 96, which is the year I was born. So there's twice as many agents right now that are trying to sell homes and represent buyers, and you're saying that there's only a 3.5 month inventory just in Whittier. I'm sure it's different in other cities and counties, but that's pretty low, right? I mean, the competition is pretty fierce, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is, because I think a lot of people see real estate as a low-hanging fruit opportunity. They think, oh, hey, I'll go to school, get my license, pay a couple $100, and boom, I'm in. I'll make thousands,
Right.
But it's really not that easy if you're trying to make it a long-lasting thing. So I think that's why you see a lot of people with licenses now, because one, they're just trying to make a quick buck. They do it on the weekends.
Right. Or they just buy their own house because they don't want to pay an agent. They don't see value in it. Even if they want to sell their own house, they don't. I know several people like that have their license that are not at all full time, but if they want to buy a property or sell their own, they'll do that.
Right.
So
very true.
We see that a lot too. I mean, and so more or less than that, what would you say to the older agents that are in the game that don't know marketing per se? I mean, what would you say to them if they came to you and say, hey, Jonathan, I've been in real estate for 30 years. It was done, this way for a long time. I have no idea how the internet works. What would you tell to that audience?
That's hard. That's a hard question, because there's so many places to start, right?
Retire?
You can no, you don't want to throw in the towel, but because when you talk digital, you have I say this, and I've always said this: if you can pick one avenue and you're consistent in that one avenue, you will succeed. You don't have to go too wide; just go narrow and deep, and you'll be fine.
Right.
But I think it's just a matter of picking one. So it's hard for me to tell.
Well, I think it would be, obviously the internet's not for them, right? Or they don't know what to do it. I would say that they would have to invest some money, more money than I would say the younger agent. They would have to invest more money into someone like you, or someone that, content creation that, pretty much creates content around their business or industry, and then, kind of capture them and market for them, right? Because they obviously can't.
Right. They would have to probably hire a few different contractors, because you got to have one who's going to create the content for them, and then maybe a couple other individuals or companies who are going to, post and manage their accounts or whatever the case is. And that would be ideal, right? If you had the budget to spend on that. But let's say this guy, he's older, he's almost on his way out, but he still wants to be in the game a little bit, sell a few more houses. I would just suggest picking one avenue, rolling with it, learning that, and just going all the way. So whether it's going to be, okay, hey, you're going to nail Facebook, stick to Facebook, learn all the ins and outs of it, speak to your sphere of influence, and just market through there. Or do Instagram, which is probably not the better option, being that he's a little bit older, but you can do that. Or just say, hey, I'm going to nail my website. I'm going to go super SEO heavy. I love to write. I'm going to write all kinds of blogs, and I'm going to be the real estate expert in Lakewood.
Right.
Whatever the situation is, just pick one and go all in, and there's
picking
endless
Picking a
information.
niche. One of my dad's good friends, we just did a transaction with him. He does nothing but probate. Mm-hmm. He's a probate master. I mean, this dude, he knew more than the lawyers did in our last transaction. It was crazy. Yeah. I was like, wow. And that's his niche, and his whole thing, he told me was he's like, if you type in like, I don't know, probate realtor in LA, I mean, he's right there, top 5. I mean, his whole thing was, you know, the niche was to optimize his website to be right there, number one. And he gets a lot of business just from that, you know, and he's not a video guy. He's not a Instagram guy. He's strictly just website SEO, you know, and he gets the probates like that.
Case in point, man, because there's riches and niches. You really don't have to be wide, just narrow and deep. One thing, be the best at what you do at that one thing, and you'll be all right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because if you master a niche, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of market share, you know, because a lot of agents try to say, oh, I do it all.
Right.
Right. I do foreclosures and, you know, probate and retail and flipping. I do all kinds of stuff, you know, and I think that it's kind of spread too thin because, you know, you want to be the master of one, not the jack of all, right?
Yeah. I think that if you're going to be mastering all, I think you really have to have a team, because let's say
for sure,
you have several individuals and then one person is focused on each individual thing, you'll be unstoppable. You know, you'll be all right.
You know, so kind of going towards, you know, wrapping this up, but where do you see Gonz Media Productions, your company, where do you see yourself, you know, in the near future? Where do you want to take your business? Because obviously drone marketing, video pictures are getting a pretty popular subject. Right. And you have all these small companies. I mean, even people are doing it for the agents, right, within their offices. A lot of these offices are hiring a in-house marketer, in-house video, in-house all this crap. Right. I mean, where do you see yourself? How would you separate yourself from those people?
I think just providing a better service overall. There is a lot of competition out there, you know, in my industry, but if you can provide it better, quicker, faster, and
then put it in front of the right audience, right?
Right audience, and just do a great job, then I think we'll be okay. The industry is definitely moving towards video marketing above anything else, right? I think photos nowadays, if they're not just like basic package, it's really, photos should just be a no-brainer, right? If you have a listing, you should have some photos taken.
Unless you're charging 1%, I mean, you know,
right.
I mean, if you're making any kind of money in this industry, that would be a given. I mean, to tell a homeowner, oh yeah, we do professional. I mean, that's like, duh. Like, I mean, you know, bro, I'm paying you how much money, and you're not. What do you say? Oh yeah, we're not gonna put professional photos up there. We're not gonna do a video. Like, I mean, how stupid. Like, why am I paying you, right? I mean, again, like it's amazing to me how some of these agents just, oh yeah, just throw it up, see what happens, and oh, you want this price? Oh, see what happens. You know, list it at that, list it high. Yeah, we'll come down later. Yeah, we've heard that one, but yeah. So, Jonathan, thank you, man, for taking the time to stop by.
Of course,
I appreciate all the work you've done for us and the work you've done for this particular listing. We think it's going to do pretty well, and you know,
if you're interested in checking out the photos and the video for this particular listing, I think we'll attach the link somewhere down below or something like that. But
yeah, we'll attach those links. I'll attach a link to Jonathan's website, so if you guys want to get more information about him and his services, you can feel free to do that. Anyways, you guys, I'm Geoff Luna. We did this podcast today with Jonathan Gonzalez of Gonz Media. Thanks for everyone for watching. We'll continue this series next time. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.